Whether we want to relieve aches and pains, heal old injuries, or just be top of the class at yoga, we all know that stretching is important. But what are the best training methods to improve flexibility, and how long will it take to get results you can be proud of? We took on a box splits challenge as a way to find out. We trained box splits for 7 days, and here's what happened. Experiment 1, the box splits challenge. We have 7 days to get the greatest percentage gain in box splits. First thing that we need to test is where we're currently at.
I'm going to try to go from the crutch down. We're going to get personal, Claire.
Okay.
So this is here.
26
centimetres.
Okay.
Also enjoying getting personal here.
32 centimetres. I know we're only testing, but it still hurt losing. That's good.
Wow.
Better than mummy and daddy.
So it is day 1 of the box splits challenge. I have wanted to be as flexible as I was as a 15-year-old for the last 15-20 years. I don't hold out a huge amount of hope for how much flexibility I'm going to develop. It's going to hurt. What can I say? I don't know why we're doing this. It's going to hurt. And I want that. I want to be able to do a beautiful splits. I want to be able to do a backward walkover again. So it's maybe worth putting myself through this pain in order to try and get somewhere close to being able to do those things again. And I am going to be using 3 techniques to try to get more gains than Tom. I will be aiming to do maybe 2 lots of 1 hour, using the way that I learned to do flexibility work as a kid. Kind of 2 key techniques. One was using blocks to raise up the legs and to stretch kind of between blocks, which I will be attempting to do. And the other was a form of stretching where someone else stretches you. The third technique that I'm going to be using, which is I have collected a series of images on Pinterest of yogis doing crazy stretches, and I'm going to try and do some of them. So those are going to be my 3 stretches. Doing it on my own with blocks, having someone else stretch me, number 2, and number 3, copying Pinterest.
Hey Claire, are some people more flexible than others?
That's a good question. And the answer is yes, some people are more flexible than others. Hypermobile people have more elastin and collagen in their ligaments and tendons than normal people do.
Oh, that's interesting. We're definitely not them.
No, that's not us. We're not hypermobile. Except I have hyperextending elbows.
The 4 principles I'm going to use. Greasing the groove, so that means that I'm going to train multiple times throughout the day, aiming to try to force my body to adapt. So probably about 3 to 5 minutes once every 3 hours is the goal. Research as many anti-inflammatory nutritional advantages that I can actually gain throughout the week.
Delicious.
Also draw on a lot of techniques that I used from martial arts, trying to increase range of movement in the stretch, because I find that the more I'm able to wiggle my hips backwards and forth in the stretch, what it slowly does is loosen me up. The box split, because it was so difficult, I kind of gave up on ever really trying it. So it's kind of been one of those things I've always wanted to do, and I've always liked the idea of being able to do like what Van Damme did and do it between 2 chairs. So really that would be the ultimate goal. I don't know how I'm going to get through it. This is going to be pretty painful. I love the idea of the greasing the groove. Heard it be very successful when it comes to learning handstands. So I just really want to try it and see how it works with this technique. It just may be too much.
It's day 2, and I have to say that my training is not going very well today. I am definitely stiffer than when I started. I'm going to just keep persevering, and I'm hoping that in a few days, if I keep doing the same thing, it will start to get easier. But today, it does not feel good at all. Thanks, Luna.
Hey Claire, what's the science behind flexibility?
First thing is when you stretch, it stimulates the muscle to increase its water content, and it stimulates the ligaments and the tendons to produce extra collagen. Second thing is when you stretch, you cause little tiny tears in the muscle fiber, in the sarcomeres, and then the sarcomeres grow back just like they do when you're doing strength work. Only in strength work, the sarcomeres grow back like one on top of the other, but in stretching, they grow back in a line, in a chain. So the muscle literally gets longer. The third really interesting thing that happens when you stretch is that over time, there's an adaptation to pain in the body. Normally, when you first start stretching, the muscle sends a signal to the central nervous system to tell the central nervous system that the muscle's being stretched. And then the central nervous system sends a message back to the muscle, telling the muscle to contract in order to protect it from tearing. But over time, when the signal gets sent from the muscle to the central nervous system stops sending the message back to the muscle that it needs to contract. And that's when you get the lengthening process.
Oh, that's really interesting.
I'm so glad you enjoyed my 3 key interesting facts about stretching.
So it's day 3, and today I thought I'd try to apply a technique I like to use with resistance bands, which literally pulls your legs backwards while you're in a more of like an upright pancake position.
This is the only way you're going to let me stretch, is by tickling you the whole way. Does it feel funny?
I'm going to give that an attempt today with the heaviest band as well, to see if that really pulls me back.
You've got to help me, I'm stuck. I'm stuck and she's on me. Oh, God.
Okay, so it's Saturday morning, it's day 4 of our stretching challenge, and I've just kind of had a bit of a breakthrough with my bridging. I've been feeling like every time I stretch, I need to stretch all the other parts of my body as well. So even though I've been working on box splits, I've definitely been feeling like as I do the box splits, then I need to stretch my lower back, stretch my shoulders. So in the process, my bridging has just gotten a lot better. By day 3, the pain in my calf had gone just from stretching box splits. So that's kind of led me to a slight insight, I guess, which came out of a conversation Tom and I were having on Monday when we were doing my rehab session, which was that an injury maybe shouldn't be understood as something that just needs to be fixed, but an injury perhaps should be understood in a more holistic sense, in that it's a kind of symptom of the dysfunction of your existing movement patterns.
So we're on day 5, and I think I'm struggling today. Everything feels tight, everything feels sore, legs are shaking, and probably just getting to a point where I'm overdoing it. There is one thing that's really keeping me going today, and just in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I've got to be Claire. I have to be Claire, which is, I think I'd be disappointed if I didn't.
Claire, I'm really struggling today. How long will it take me to get more flexible?
According to this book, we might see a change in our flexibility in the first 7 days, and then improvements will start to taper off. And this is because initially the muscle stretches fairly easily, but the ligaments and tendons take longer. So to really get a change in range of movement and full flexibility in box split, it could take between 6 months and 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's quite an investment of time.
So how many times a week should I train this?
Okay, so the research shows that the best way to train flexibility is for you to spend 5 to 10 minutes per day.
Any advice on how to track my progress?
Take before and after photographs, and taking measurements is super helpful too, because then you know where you're starting from whether you've made any improvement. Hi. Okay, so it is day 7 of the box splits challenge. I am in the park. Luna is sleeping, so I am doing a bit of last minute stretching to see if I can beat Tom in the box splits games. Spent actually very few minutes in box splits, partly because it's so painful and I am so tight in box splits, and partly because I felt like as I stretched one bit of my body, I should do another part. Okay, I've just had another breakthrough. So the police just came into the park on horseback because we're all in quarantine, and I was lying down, just looking at my phone, and I thought I'd better start moving or she would think I was sunbathing. So I did a Valdez, and then I heard the policewoman say, oh, she wasn't stretching a minute ago, she started stretching. So I thought, shit, I better do something. So I did a handstand, and I actually did a forward walkover-ish. I did half of a forward walkover. So, new breakthrough. I'm going to show you what I did now. Okay, thank you, policeman. I'm happy with that. And I may not have beaten you, Tom, but I've done a forward and backward walkover and a Valdez! Yay!
Well then, I've just finished third sets of stretches for the day, and I'm pretty much done with this task in it now. I don't want to do this anymore. I really don't think I've improved at all. I think Claire has this. She's been doing a very different approach, and she's not complaining about soreness nowhere near as much as I am. So I think I've kind of made the wrong choice. If I kept this up for maybe a year, maybe 2 years, I would be on the floor, you know. But 7 days, I don't know whether I've made any improvements. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess.
Testing day has arrived. Whose method worked? We're going to have 3 attempts to see how far we can push our box split.
I haven't done any limbering up at all. Can I just do a quick stretch?
First up, Claire.
25.
Yeah! 1 centimetre.
Okay. What have I got? 32 to beat.
Oh, this is looking
There.
good. Oh my god! 27 27 and a half!
I'm impressed. 27 and a half.
Annoyed already.
Yeah. Did you just like cause yourself in extreme amounts of pain to be able to do that?
No,
You just went, it just.
that was fine. I haven't pushed it too far. That was the first attempt.
Oh, 22.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, there's still hope. 26 and a half.
Oh, that's only a centimetre less. How am I getting halves?
The solid line is the half.
That's the line.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the half. That's 20.
Just
That's
about.
26. That's how. Yeah, that's
To there, you did to there. So is that 25
just
and a half?
25 and a half. Last attempt. 22 to
Okay.
go. 21 and a half.
Yeah!
There we are. Ready? Take one. There.
Oh my goodness! 23!
Oh, that was so good! Oh, ow!
The lowest score registered for Claire was 21.5 centimetres. That represented a 17.13 percentage gain. The lowest score registered for Tom was 23 centimetres. which comes in at a whopping 28.13% increase. As you can tell, Tom was pretty happy.
You beat me. Damn! It's about gains.
Anyway,
I gained 17.3%
That's how much?
extra stretch.
I pretty much doubled it. Quite happy that I managed to do like 28%. That's quite good.
Okay, so how did you achieve these results?
It was like doing every 3 hours of training. I set a little timer on my phone and would just go in the kitchen or down the hallway, or if we took Lynn to the park, I'd take just about 3 minutes of just trying to find the split. Actually, any dairy for the last 5 days purposefully, because reading some study about the effects of lactose on flexibility. Any like legumes until last night.
Yeah, how are you feeling after?
How am I feeling that I just got beaten?
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but how are you feeling? Because I know you don't like to be beaten.
No, I'm very competitive, but I'm feeling like I did not push myself hard enough, and I didn't really take this competition seriously enough. We had one task. The task is make your box splits better. But I spent all of my time stretching other parts of my body. I probably didn't even do 1 minute the whole week in box splits.
That's all I did.
So I've learned that I've kind of got a focus issue going on, which you tell me regularly and causes you immense frustration. More importantly, I did a bridge, a Valdez, a forward walkover and a backward walkover. Like to think about, oh yes, if I do my stretching every day in 2 years, I'll be able to do a nice bridge. That so doesn't work for me. But like going, right, what can we do in 7 days? I've gotten more done in 7 days than I had hoped, and I'm really happy with the progress I made. So now I feel super motivated. I hope that this challenge inspires other people to go and do a 7-day box splits challenge, or front splits challenge, or bridge challenge. My body feels so much better. Yeah, I would like to make the point that I did no work on nutrition. I tried to get no competitive edge through nutrition or scheduling or fancy tricks, and I didn't read any research papers. I was the kid in school who like didn't really do their homework and would kind of show up to the exam and try and wing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've done the same thing.
You can take my
I'm
hand.
going to shake your hand, yeah. You won.
I think that's the first time I've ever shook your hand.
Best man won. But I did a forward walkover, a backward walkover, and a Valdez.
Yeah, which is
Beat
true.
that!
I can't do that, and I don't think I ever will be able to do that.
This. Where's Mummy?
Hey, Luna.